Let's go. And, it's going to be how's everybody doing? Just getting everything set up here. Hopefully you guys can hear the music. I want to thank everyone for all you guys' support. We'll finally hit the huge milestone of 10,000 subs. Yeah, it was a huge milestone I set earlier this year, and we finally did it. So we're having a celebration. Okay. We're going to take a look at some of you guys' comments here. All right, so we got quite a few comments to go through. Let's turn the music down. All right, so you guys had actually a ton of feedback, and there was actually quite a few stories that were shared, and I think that there's too many similarities for these to be coincidences. We got some real compelling stories here to share. Let's start off with this one here. So this is from Verily. She says, about 37 years ago, my daughter, who was under 2 years old at the time, and I were sleeping. I woke up and saw a basketball-sized swirling multicolored orb. It was beautiful. The colors were moving around inside the ball or orb like some sort of energy. Of course, I was terrified. It was moving along in my living room wall as if it were looking for a way out or maybe something. It continued along the wall until it got to my bedroom. It moved along my bedroom wall. I covered my daughter's body trying to protect her. I was in absolute terror. The thing came off the wall and hovered over me and my daughter as if it were studying us. It hovered for several seconds, 30 to 40, and then it just floated out the screen. The window was open. I got up and looked out the window. It was low to the ground, floating into my neighbor's yard, and continued moving away, low to the ground, until I couldn't see it anymore. I'm 64 years old now, and my daughter is 39. I've never been so terrified and amazed at the beautiful swirling inside of it, which is pretty interesting. We hear about that a lot with these orbs, that they are they're not necessarily a metallic or anything solid. It's like something that a lot of people haven't seen before. So it's always kind of difficult for people to describe. But that's kind of what we tend to hear a lot is it's like a perfect sphere with swirling inside of it. And she says, I don't know what it was, but it was obviously it was intelligent. I don't know if it was a spiritual entity. I don't know if it was an alien entity. I don't know if it was evil. I felt it was evil because I was terrified, but it did not harm us. It was amazing and terrifying. This is a true story. And there's a lot of comments here. We'll go through those. I just want to show you guys a clip. So I started a Rumble account just so I can kind of share my content there also. And there's this farmer from Kentucky that shared a video with me. And so keep in mind that like this video was shot through an infrared scope, I believe at night. I mean, so he's got like just some footage of stuff around his farm and things like that. But he took his infrared scope and he saw this orb that he says it was about 20 feet away from him. And so this is what he saw. You can see the perfect sphere orb. So he says that it was bouncing. He says that it was bouncing up and down. So yeah, I don't know what's up with this. This something to do with the streaming software is making this lag a little bit. I'll get that figured out here for you guys so everything's running a bit smoother. But he says that this orb right here was about 4 feet wide and it was about 20 feet away from him. And so he's looking through an infrared scope right now. You can see that orb that's floating and bouncing up and down. Let me see if we can play it one more time for you guys. If it plays any smoother. You can see how perfect of a sphere it is. But I'll drop the link here for you guys and I'll go back to his comment and read it for you here. So let me drop this in the comments for you guys. And then let's go back to his comment and I'll show you exactly what he said. So he was commenting on my video. I also posted it to Rumble. He says that those plasmas are 4 foot wide and I see them commonly on my farm in Kentucky. I got one video and posted it, infrared scoped it, noticed it with my naked eye. Looked like the Predator movie. So I got my infrared scope and recorded it. It blew my mind what I got 20 feet away from me, closer than any document, and happens always. He says, so keep looking up. And I there's been a lot of typos this week in the comments. So I've had to kind of decipher what people are saying, but it says, so keep looking up and I just look not far from me, see who wins. There's been lots of interesting comments, but yeah, but so I don't think that that's someone that's trying to pull a fast one over us or anything like that. I think that's a genuine encounter. I mean, it only has like 50 views, and you can see that he's just got some other videos and things around his farm. So yeah, I mean, I think that's pretty legit video. It says this one says the luminous orbs are not aliens. Those luminous discs come out of the human body after a special practice. Human DNA emits very weak light plasma biophotons. When concentrated, it forms a light disc called a Sol Invictus. Watch the whole process in my channel. Maybe we'll check that one out. Maybe we'll check that one out later. But anyways, I left a link to the to that gentleman's Rumble account if you guys want to go check it out. So yeah, so there's so she had like 50 comments respond here. So there's a lot of people that that also had other encounters. This one says in Port Huron Township, Michigan, around 2009, I also seen the orb go down to my hallway, shut off my television, and float back down the hallway from which it came. Although at first I had fear, the entity was not there to hurt me. This is also a true story. So yeah, another interesting story there with the orb that came inside someone's house, and actually they claim that it actually shut off their television, which is pretty crazy. This one here, so it says, about 6 years ago, I woke up at 3 a.m. I was feeling very sad because of all the cruelty in the world, and I woke up with my face and hair wet with tears. On the far side of the dark bedroom, an orb of light appeared, and it looked like candlelight, but without the candle. The light was so alive and sparkling. I wasn't afraid. It moved towards me up the side of the bed, and as it came closer, it grew larger until it reached me, and it enveloped me in the most incredible sense of unconditional love, peace, and love. I've never felt anything like that before, just pure love and understanding and the most beautiful feeling. And then it spoke to me telepathically in the most soft and loving voice, and it said, "Rest now, for everything is as it should be." Everything is as it should be. The depth of feeling and knowledge and comfort in those words was utterly profound, and that experience has changed my life forever. Yeah, I think just like similar to a lot of these UFO encounters or orb encounters, a lot of people in the spiritual world and paranormal world, they tend to see orbs as well. Typically, from my understanding, those are a lot smaller, and it's possible that those are something different. But in a sense, they could be connected as well. So here's another interesting one. He says, they came to me during a near-death experience. I was knocked out for 10 to 15 minutes and experienced a lifetime of answers in my out-of-body experience. The orbs seemed comforting, profound. I thought I was dead, yet still conscious. I floated in space, pure darkness, and they were on a lower plane of space than I was, very bright and somewhat colorful, excuse me. They communicated to me via the thoughts in my head, telepathy. So just like that other story that we just read, telepathically, they're communicating. And it says, it was as if they were welcoming me and guiding me. I was so focused on them, I didn't even realize until the end of the experience that there was a blindingly bright light, blindingly bright yet comforting light behind them where they were guiding me to. The last sentence that I remember receiving was, "It's not his time, it's not your time." And then I woke up. My friend who lived downstairs in our duplex came up and watched me stand up from the ground. I was processing what the hell had happened and trying to explain what happened to him at the same time. It was amazing, and to this day, I still can't find a way how to explain how truly amazing this was. This was about 18 years ago. And then he goes on to say, at the time, I was emerging from a short period of atheism, and I was starting to become agnostic, interested in the spiritual perspective of things. That experience absolutely had lasting effects on my perspective of the universe. This is no Bible thumper BS, as I haven't been in church in 20 years. Yeah, so yeah, another cool story that it seems to be that's another one that seems to be similar to the last story that we just read, but also seems to have a spiritual connection there. Both of those, there's some parallels that we could draw between those two stories. Like they both had those voices speak to them. Everything is as it should be, and then his voices that he heard was, "It's not his time, it's not your time." And yeah, pretty crazy. So let's see. But yeah, a lot of the comments were pretty positive. This is the most illuminating info I've seen on UAPs ever. Thank you, Cassandra. Thanks for the kind words. Let's see. Oh, this was another good one here from Foo's research. This is a pretty compelling story here. So he says, you've nailed it. I've been saying the same for years. 4 or 5 gray alien-like critters stalked my grandpa for roughly 40 years, all night, every night. I know how insane it sounds, but this is really what happened. He wasn't able to sleep with his wife after 1930 due to violent episodes everybody thought was PTSD from World War I. I caught on to them in 1959 during a 2-week visit that turned into 3 weeks as I played hide and seek with these things trying to catch sight of them as they hid behind the bedroom door. The last the last time I saw them, they were materializing in the room from vibrating orbs of intense light. They can materialize into a definite shape with huge eyes, but they are actually made up of some kind of plasma. That's what these UFOs are, no doubt. And then let's see, I think he wrote a little bit more here. So yeah, this is his response. I didn't get to read this yet. So this one's actually, I'm reading this for the first time. So he says, so that's what I saw. I caught on the first morning when the door was open a crack. Have left Grandpa would have never left the door open, and I knew he hadn't gotten up. He says, I was a light sleeper. They did have the bug-eyed appearance and pointy chins. I thought they looked like little old circus men with funny hats, but that's because of the ridge over the eye that looked like the rim of a hat. And then he says, after I caught them the first time, they got more clever and wouldn't open the door. Instead waiting until I drifted off again and then materialized directly into the room. When I woke up and saw the balls of light faded away gradually. Yeah, that's pretty cool. So yeah, thanks Foos for sharing that. That's a pretty interesting firsthand account. And so what he's saying is that like these plasmas or these balls of light, they can materialize into shapes, and that's kind of like the traditional alien that that we see in a lot of the older reports. So let's see if this is anything. I know exactly what you're talking about. Sometimes you could see what looks like shapes and faces inside orbs, and I always think they look like a skull, but if you think about it, it's because of the big eyes or eye sockets and the shape of the skull. What was at your grandpa's were probably this in a stronger, more advanced stage. I have chills. Your poor grandpa. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, to be like haunted by those things. Oh yeah, and then she commented a little bit more here. Let's see. I believe that some people just pick up on energy, orbs, etc., more than others. Yeah, definitely that. Like I have multiple family members that have had like paranormal accounts, and more than one. But for some reason, I don't know if my vibe is off, if I don't pass the vibe check or what. But I I haven't had any paranormal accounts, and I would love to experience one, but yeah, I haven't had any. But that's kind of what she's saying these might be, I think. They're more intuitive and probably more sensitive. That's why dogs, children, and babies, and a lot of mentally ill or people closer to death can see and pick up on things way better than regular people. Maybe your grandpa did have PTSD, so was more capable of that. And that might be why you're seeing them. Maybe you're more in tune. Or it's also possible that this was a very strong energy that had been there for a really, really long time, drawing energy over time. If you watch any paranormal shows, you'll notice how many times they refer to the spirit's energy. Yeah, definitely. So yeah, again, she's I think that there's two different things going on. I don't think that they're combined. It's possible, but I think that there's definitely something that's more material, like plasma, and then there's something that's more spiritual. And I don't know if like spiritual orbs and shapes that people would see would be a form of plasma, but yeah, I feel personally these are two different things. Let's see if we can answer a few of these questions. So oh hey, what's up, Terrence? Thanks for the comment. I'll read your comment here in a second, brother. So let's look at this one from Electron Nuclear. A few questions. Do these only appear at night, or is it that they're just visible at night? I think that it's the latter. I think that it's because they're just visible at night. Now if here I can give you a close a better look here. Let me give you guys a better look. Let me share my other screen. Let me go like this so you guys can see this video. I'll just share the entire screen with you. Go like this. Downloads. I'll show you guys this Navy footage. I included part of it in the video, but Some of these orbs and things are visible at night. So this one in the video, I had to slow this down to a quarter speed because this thing goes by so quick. Like if you blink, you'll miss it. I don't know if you guys even saw that, but see if I can pause it right there. So this is I believe this is the F-18 fighter pilot or jet, and yeah, they spot this orb right here. So they were coming up to it and trying to investigate it. And yeah, we just got a really quick glimpse of it, and that was it. And then here's another one. So this is on the Arrow website. Now this is some footage that was declassified. So here, like clear as day, in the middle of the day, you could see this orb that's traveling. I don't know how far this one went, but this one was definitely traveling during the day. They spot them like during military exercises and things like that during the day. I think quite often. Let's see. So like these are even photographs from the 40s. From these are the airmen, and you can see these orbs in the background. And you know, that's kind of one of the questions is like, are these orbs attracted to something nuclear, or they're assuming that they're attracted to something nuclear or radiation or electromagnetic activity. And yeah, and there's also a theory, we don't know because the government's not being open with us, but there's kind of a theory out there, or a rumor, that a nuclear warhead was lost in transit and it's somewhere over there and kind of in the New Jersey area, and that might be kind of why these orbs are all I guess congregating above New Jersey. So yeah, they can be seen during the day. I mean, these are all, you know, like I said, photos from the 40s. And here's another orb back here following the jet. Now, remember from that research paper that we read, they're kind of theorizing also that these might be investigating or following the jets because it's possible they could be attracted to the energy that the jet engines are creating, like such as like the heat and other things there. Let's see, there's a few more here. So here's a couple more. This is a tail from another plane, and these are like what they would call like the cone shaped style orbs there, or plasmoids. I keep calling them orbs and plasmoids. I mean, there's so many names that we can call these things: UFOs, UAPs. But yeah, they're a lot of these are plasmoids. But you know, we still also do hear about some of these spheres that are orbs, but some folks are saying that they're metallic, and I don't know if that's because that's the only way they can describe it. It's kind of hard to maybe it's kind of hard to process or imagine that they could be plasma or something, but yeah. So okay, so Terrence, let's get your question here. He said, if you ever have some time, check out the movie The Darkest Hour. The plasmoids look just like it. Yeah, let's see if there's maybe a trailer on YouTube we could just check out real quick, because you're the second person to say that. So Darkest Hour movie, Darkest Hour trailer. Yeah, I think the other person that commented said that it was from 2001, or excuse me, 2011 as well. So let's see what we got. Oh, so like these things right here. Oh, so like some kind of shape shifting kind of plasma orb. Oh, I see what you're talking about. Like right there. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, this yeah, here it is right here. It's like this guy. It's like a plasma type orb that just kind of pops up and is terrorizing. I'll check that out for sure. I'll definitely take a look at it. Thanks for the reminder there. I'll see if I can find that later. Okay, so let's look at some more at you guys' comments. and stories. Let's see. Oh, actually, let's finish this one. So, don't air currents affect their movements? Um, from what I understand, they can move against it, any wind. That's part of why these are such a mystery and such an anomaly, because they go against wind. So let's see here. So this is another video that Arrow released, and here you can see like there's a volcano that's kind of slowly erupting, and out from this volcano or mountain, you'll see it here, where it'll kind of just all of a sudden appear. Now, it's kind of also theorized that these are just a natural phenomenon. So all of a sudden we could see it. It's going to pop up about right here. Yeah, so it just comes in from the left side of the frame there, and it's just passing right over, right through. And I mean, it's got to be I don't know how many degrees, how many thousands of degrees that is of steam coming out of that mountain, but yeah, I mean, it passes just right over that, and it's I think at one point it shows the clouds going one direction, and then the orb or this plasmoid is traveling against it. So, and this thing was cruising. They followed this thing for a while. So yeah, there's a few videos like this. So this is like unclassified footage that they released, and yeah, this thing was moving for quite a bit under its own power. And I mean, as far as we can tell, it's just an orb that's floating out there, or not even floating. I guess it's moving under its own power somehow. But yeah, it's pretty interesting. So and then it speeds up. It continues to speed up there. So, and it looks like it's beginning to change shape as well. So it's speeding up, and it looks like it's beginning to kind of change into um, not necessarily a cone, but almost sort of a take on the snowman kind of shape appearance. Like it's still round, but it just gets smaller towards the top there. So yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's something that and then they just ended up losing it. They couldn't find it anymore. But yeah, I mean, that's something that just stumped me. And when I saw that for the first time, I was just in amazement of that there's things like that in our planet, and we're not really even talking about it. We're so busy with wrapped up in everything else. But yeah, so okay, so let's see. So he also asks, is electron nuclear? He asks, plasmoids seem to last a few seconds at best if we're considering ball lightning or other natural phenomena, but these orbs appear to last for hours. So yeah, I mean, like I said, yeah, it seems like they last for quite a while, and like we read in the research paper, that they actually transcend and they have the ability to come and drop down into thunderstorms and then fly back off into space up into the thermosphere up there. Allegedly, at least that's what that paper is claiming. And I mean, a lot of people, everyone that contributed to that paper, they're putting their reputations on the line. So I mean, it's not like they're just making up some random theories. I mean, they all have things to lose. So and it says they also appear to manually adjust their brightness. Yeah, sometimes. I mean, that's interesting. I don't know if they do that or not. Yeah, I mean, if you guys know what he's referring to, then please let me know. But I mean, but yeah, Roger, I'll get to your comment here in a second. But yeah, manually adjust their brightness. I mean, I know that they flash. They definitely pulsate. And I don't know what I saw in 2016, but the best way I can describe it is there was two lights that we were just walking back on a dark, clear night, and in Papua New Guinea, this is a remote island, and we could see the Milky Way galaxy pretty much every night unless there was like overcast or clouds. And this was a clear night where we could see the galaxy, we could see all the stars, everything. And I look up, and kind of by the moon, I would say, kind of towards that direction. There was two like pulsating, like flashing lights, and there would be one that would flash, and it would be like 1, 2, 3, and then you wait like 2 seconds, and then the other one would be like 1, 2, 3, and then this one would go 1, 2, and then the other one would go 1, 2. So it was almost like they were mimicking it. Now I don't know if it's possible that maybe those were like stars or something. I would say that their brightness was equal to the brightest star that you could see in the sky that night, but it appeared that they were like half the distance as all the other stars that we could see. So it seemed like they were closer. I didn't have like a super close encounter um, to where I can actually get eyes on it or anything like that, but it was pretty weird. And then so that continued on for about 10 minutes, I would say, at least. And then there was another light that joined them. And then there was like three of them that looked like they were communicating back and forth. And then that went on for about 5, maybe 10 minutes at the most, and then it all just kind of stopped. It all just kind of faded away. But it's not like those lights didn't move. They weren't like going across the sky or anything like that. They were all stationary, and we had the moon as a good reference point. So I don't know what the hell those were, but it seemed to me like they were communicating. I suppose there might be some sort of explanation that could come up with a some kind of theory for scientific theory for why that happened. It could have been some kind of radio waves or something like that across the sky and caused stars to react all about the same time, but the waves had to travel a certain distance, and that's why they kind of mimic each other. But I mean, it looked like clear as day those things were communicating to each other. So yeah. Let's see. Kristen Lee says, I remember. Oh yeah, yeah. Sorry, Roger. What about the plasmoid in the tree? So the plasmoid in the tree. So, uh, I've seen a few takes on this, on the plasmoid in the tree. One person said that it was a balloon. Another person said that it was a drone. Another person said that it definitely was a plasmoid. The only thing that gets me that I have trouble with answering that is the plasmoid. I mean, if it has the ability to do all these amazing things, um, why does a tree stop it from 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 I don't know. I mean, it's just that's just kind of a weird one to me. So I mean, I feel like if it's able to move under its own power, and it's got somewhat some intelligence, like a single cell organism, that I, I don't know. It's Yeah. Oh, it had hands that looked crazy. Frankie says. Let's see if we could find it. Let's see if we could find it. Let's see. I didn't see any hands on it. Frank, are you talking about the one that got caught in the tree here? Let's see. That's a whole long video. We just want the short one. Let's see if they'll. Yeah, that's a good point, Terrence. Yeah, let me see if I can find this one. Oh, here it is right here. So yeah, so I don't know man. I mean, this one was interesting to me. I mean, I it's hard for me to it's hard because we've never saw one stuck in a tree before. like like, what are the odds that all of a sudden it's just going to happen now in New Jersey when everything's making headlines? You know, I mean, the odds of not seeing one until now is pretty crazy. Oh, sorry, let me add this. There it is. But yeah, I mean, like that's the only thing that gets me hung up on this. I mean, it looks authentic, but man, it's just so hard to tell. It's also in an oval shape, like a pill shape, which has been a reported shape, right? Like just like the Tic Tac video that the military released. Um, Dang. Okay. Yeah. I'm sorry, you guys. This freaking we're just not gonna play the video because it's having issues with the playback and the stream. But yeah, I don't know. I don't. Yeah, Trent says that's a drone. Yeah, I don't know, man. But I haven't seen a drone like that. That's the thing. I haven't seen I haven't seen a drone like that, like that shape. I don't see any I don't see any propellers. I've never seen a drone that's like an oval. It almost looks like some kind of like vacuum or like like the deck of a lawnmower, the riding lawnmower that's got two blades. I mean, it's I don't know. We've never seen one like that before, so I don't know, you guys. Um, okay, so plasmoids come and go. I don't know how many was seen. You think they might multiply since you think they're communicating? Yeah, I mean, yeah, definitely. It's definitely a possibility. We've seen some videos out there that like have the drones kind of or multiplying, excuse me. And yeah, yeah, suspicious no lie, maybe a spy. Yeah, speaking of spies, like another theory that's out there is that there's a lot of drones that are spying on our military bases, and for some reason, folks are acting like we don't have the power to shoot them down. It has to do with maybe like FAA regulation, and then it also has to do with like it's not trans those drones aren't transmitting any type of signal back, so it's like they're pre-programmed. They're flying out to these military bases, scanning them, and then flying away, and they're traveling for long distances, and we try to pursue them. The allegedly these like we end up running out of fuel and other things. So I don't know if that's true. I don't it kind of sounds like a BS kind of rumor to me, but apparently that's coming from high up military intelligence folks. And then another reason that we can't shoot them down, like we have capabilities to shoot pretty much these signals that will knock out any aircraft, including those drones, but it's going to knock out also it's going to shut down our planes in the area. So it's kind of like we're shooting ourselves in the foot. You would think that they would have something that we would be able to target those drones specifically if there are drones out there. And yeah, I don't know. It's kind of scary to think about. I sure hope that we're not being compromised and there's not some kind of national security threat. But you know, they keep telling us to be calm and there's nothing to worry about, nothing to see here, which usually means there is. Let's see. There was some very other really interesting stories I want to get to. Oh, here's a good one right here. I remember reading this one yesterday. He said, I made a report to MUFON. Let's just take a look at what this is real quick, because I didn't get a chance to look that up. Mutual UFO Network. So it says we're deeply involved in unraveling the enigmas of the cosmos, from sightings to alien abductions, and some other stuff there. And then, okay, so let's go ahead and read this here. So he says, Cornmolio says, I made a report to MUFON a while back about a thing that came out of the sky and followed me home from school. I was 11 years old and saw this thing make 90-degree turns to follow my exact path. This is precisely what it was. I saw it come from the sky. I got very close to it, and it looked like a ball of plasma. The strange part is I first noticed it in the sky because of an overwhelming feeling I got that I was being watched. It's just strange to me that I would look up at the sky behind me and keep looking up at it until it came down to ground level. I'm going to forward this video to the gentleman from MUFON that responded to my report. I'm still in touch with him. Thank you so much. This really helps me so much. Thank you. For so many years, I couldn't just correlate my experience to anything. I just knew that the thing that followed me wasn't solid, but it definitely had intelligence. Yeah, that's an interesting account as well. I mean, man, have you guys ever seen anything or experienced anything like that? Because I wish that I could. Like, I almost just want to buy a ticket and just hop over to New Jersey and go take a look, see if we can find anything. Because man, I really wish I could see something like this. And Terrence says it is suspicious, no lie, maybe a spy. There's this video that I watched from News Nation earlier. I'll show it. I'll just share the link with you guys. News Nation, I don't know what you guys think about them, but I think that they've got some pretty good journalism and pretty honest journalism as well. But the guy there, let me pull this up for you. Yeah, Ross. Yeah, this guy's good. He's a pretty dedicated journalist, long life journalist. But I'll share the link with you guys if you want to check this one out. I'll post it in the comments right now. But yeah, so he at one point here talks about these orbs. Possibly there's like, he's interviewed people in the military that say that these plasmoid orbs have the ability to be controlled telepathically, essentially, is what he's saying. So that there has been military programs where they essentially have had kids. He can't go too far into detail, but there's some pretty unconstitutional things that happened, it sounds like. And they used to try to have kids that had this gift of being able to control these types of things. And so he's saying that it sounds like that, at least in the past, they did try to use these plasmoids or try to use like a telepathy to. He's essentially saying that we might have advanced far enough to where that these orbs can be controlled telepathically and used to spy on military in other countries. That's he's saying. That's one of the things. He goes on and said many other claims. But I don't know. I feel like it's worth looking into. At this point, it's like anything's kind of possible with these plasmoids. It's just they definitely seem to have their own sort of intelligence is the interesting thing. Can you give me a comment on religion that has specific similarities? Terrence, are you just referencing like I've seen some videos out there just like drawing similarities between like the orbs that are being seen and some religious things. Like there's a lot of people that are saying that this could be like good versus evil, or these could be angels. This is something from the Bible. Yeah, I don't know. Let me know what you think. What you're thinking about a little bit more there, and I'll see if I can comment on it. But yeah, we've got like 15 minutes left. I got to kind of keep this to 1 hour. But Roger says, I saw translucent donut drones with 2 pink bright lights in each. One, they were 8 in 2008. The one in the tree had one of the balls inside it. It illuminate red flashes. It shows it may have 2 balls. Very interesting. Yeah, so I saw translucent donut drones with 2 pink bright lights in each one. They were 8 in 2008. Yeah, Roger, where did you see those, and how close were you able to get to those drones? And like, did they make any sound? I'm kind of curious as to like just as much details as you could provide, because I've never seen anything like this. Like, dude, I'm a stargazer. Like, I look up in the sky. I like always look at the different planets. I'm always staring up at the moon. I always looking to see if we could what we could see that night. I'm looking to see if we could see the aurora lights, because we live up here in Washington, so sometimes we could see them. I saw a shooting star the other night. I'm always looking up, but I haven't seen any kind of orbs or drones or anything like this yet. Okay, we're gonna look. We're gonna look a little bit more here. Okay, so here's another one. Mr. Perondo says, I saw some of these orbs when I was 8 to 10 years old. They would park in front of my bedroom window. They looked like a big moon low in the sky. Once my eyes were closed, I was feeling wrapped in pitch black darkness, and they were black but somehow shiny. They were very appeasing, and I did not want to be separated. They were of time. Something was left or I was changed each time, but I'm old now. Yeah, it's interesting. Again, so I mean, another similarity. So he's saying that like it, so they were black, but somehow they were shiny. So yeah, I mean, even the astronauts just had a hard time kind of describing what they were seeing. It was kind of described like a foily kind of surface, or wasn't exactly sure. So let's see. Bailey says, I experienced 2 sightings of these orbs. Once in Montana as a kid in 1995, 2 white yellow orbs beside each other, just stationary and quiet. Fast forward to 2007 on the New Mexico Arizona border around 5:30. One red orange orb nowhere near anything and not very high above ground level, just zigzagging diagonally, ascending, descending at hypersonic speeds, and coming to impossibly abrupt stops. Yeah, that's another one that kind of stumps us all, is like how they could just stop on a dime or just change direction. Like, like you guys will see the cameras, how they're panning, or how they're just following this thing, and then all of a sudden, like, oh, they got to go back because this thing just like took off the other direction. Yeah, and we've heard about that when they're messing with pilots, how they're up in the sky, they'll kind of go one direction, and then they'll like the pilots will chase them, and then they'll just take off a different direction at like unimaginable speeds. Let's see. Brief thought. Maybe they aren't cannibalizing each other, but maybe these things are far, far smaller than we think. And the plasma orbs are more like colonies or smaller entities. Might explain some shape shifting. And when they merge, they would just be turning 2 smaller groups into one big group. No entities die. Yeah, I mean, that's a possibility as well. I suppose anything is possible. I mean, I'm not a physicist, so it's hard for me to say that these plasmoids are for sure doing this, or they're made up um, of these components. I'm just trying to just deep dive into this and just kind of share this, the research that I did on this information. So. Let's see. I'm not gonna play this clip because it's it's kind of lagging a bit, but this guy here, I'll drop his channel if you guys want to check it out. But he has a video of this kind of orb light thing in the sky. If you guys want to check it out. So yeah, I just dropped his channel in the comments for you guys. Let's see. Jasmine, thanks for the kind words. Says, hey Skelly, I just wanted to say thanks again so much for that video, sharing with as many people as I know. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. Like, sharing it really means a lot. Just helping me grow the channel. I really just try to do deep dives and unbiased investigations And if I find anything like intriguing or compelling, I just try to share that with you guys. So, okay, we're gonna read some more here. So, Lamp Water says this information is amazing, fantastic video. Oh yeah, the voiceover, yeah, that was awesome. I kind of played with that a little bit. It says my grandfather worked for NASA but couldn't talk about it. He was rocket. It says he was rocket mama and was in charge of the computer for the Saturn guidance system to get into orbit. It was an amazing system and was the only one designed not to fry at launch because lots of times they would get hit by lightning or have electric phenomenon, and the system was meant to stay on when all the systems would need to be rebooted so that it could ensure that they could guide the rocket to orbit even in an electrical failure. No man can steer a rocket to space manually. No man could guide any of these orbs. Even if they could catch a ride, nothing with our nature could physically steer at those speeds. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, nothing that we know of can steer at those speeds. Like, yeah, nothing at all. Let's see. I know that there's some more out here. I think I have to go back up to this one, to that first one that I read. Yeah, but yeah, thank you guys all for all the comments and kind words here. Let me go back up to this main one because there's one here that's got quite a bit of love. So yeah, this one. Let's look at the replies because I think there's a lot of people that shared their comments, or maybe it was in mine. Because I do want to share some of these. So like, I saw these orange orbs in Texas, 2012, 9 of them, freakishly fast and red orange. They hovered, and when they moved, nothing can fly this fast. Seen it with my own eyes. And then I had one pop up in front of me outside the house, orange, translucent, with an active white plasma core, about 3 feet or so in diameter, shot up into the clouds instantly. Yes, I've witnessed the orbs, both the ones I've taken pictures of in my backyard that responded to me asking them to be brighter, and they did. We had a giant one hanging over our town in 2020. That's crazy. Right before the election. And then again, right before they attacked on the Capitol. Each time I snapped a photo of nothing unusual, just a large bright light, which I knew was an orb. The second time I did it, I went back outside to see if it was still there, and it was gone. It went out to the road. It was gone. Went out to the road to get a better view. Didn't see it turn to go back to the house. I saw 2 huge triangular shaped craft hanging in the sky. Their undersides were actually facing me, where I could see the plasma energies coursing through the sides of the craft. I knew intuitively that they had chased the orb away. So there's definitely such advanced technology out there that actually connects to your thoughts. That's kind of what we were saying earlier, when I was referring to that video with from News Nation with Ross. So there's definitely such advanced technology out there that actually connects to your thoughts, which makes sense. If we're going down that rabbit hole, that would make sense, that they can be controlled in that manner, and why they seem to be intelligent. Or maybe they're just intelligent and they have some sort of a synthetic DNA and synthetic intelligence, as that paper referred to. Please to equilateral triangle, your craft begin to blink on and off, communicating with me. Then they went straight up and out into space. They were silent. These triangular craft can be seen in notes, vision military grade goggles chasing orbs. They were not seen physically, only in the night vision. So triangular craft are huge, and they really do chase giant orbs. We have a lot to learn about what these really are. I think they can be militarized, and I think that might be the reason why the government does not tell us what they are. Yeah, I think so. I think so too. Um, that yeah, they don't want to tell us that what these really are. Okay, let's go back to this here. So Terrence, talking about stuff coming from the sky. I'm atheist, but I can't deny there's something about it. I like how they say they're angels and some. Oh, like how they say they're angels and how some pieces of religion have something coming out of the ocean. Yeah, it's hard to say, right? I mean, when we look at a lot, there's a lot of similarities between a lot of the big religions out there. A lot of them, include a flood, and we can kind of look through history and if you follow uh, kind of geology back, it's clear that there was a cataclysmic event around 10,000 years ago. I think it was 10 to 12,000 years ago. Um, and yeah, that may be the kind of the great flood that everyone's referring to that kind of set mankind back. We had That's why we had to sort of dig underground, move underground to protect ourselves from potentially like electric storms and yeah, just crazy weather phenomenon events and things like that. That's why there's a lot of underground cities and underground tunnels that were kind of during the caveman era, I guess. But yeah. Have you seen the Chris Bledsoe interview on the Danny Jones podcast? Watch it yesterday for the first time. Absolutely amazing and 100% worth the 3 hours. I will bring that up just so I don't forget. Chris Bledsoe, Danny Jones. Yeah, I'll bring that up so I don't forget here. Yeah, I'll check that out for sure. Yeah, thanks for sharing that. Okay, Roger says They looked they looked like they were balloons, but then they formed into a formation and flashed in unison over my head. It was it was in daytime in my backyard with four other people. I got binoculars and saw donut. I think he's going on to say he's talking about those donut shaped UAPs that he saw. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Yeah, I have people that have seen some crazy things, like in my pinned comment that I left up there. My buddy Ben, he's from Alaska, and he on his way to work saw pretty much what he described was a huge like gray UFO with red lights around it. They were kind of like flashing lights around it, and it's very well possible that this thing could have been alive. Now that we kind of are starting to dig into some of this information here, we're starting to learn a little bit more about the possibility of what these things could be. But he says that it was big as a football field. So he gets into work and rushes into work and tells everybody. Now Ben, he kind of tells kind of tall tales, if he catches a fish this big, it was like, oh no, it was actually a record fish that he caught. He's a kind of one of those guys, and he's a fun guy and everything, but he tends to exaggerate just a little bit. But then like 10 minutes later, someone comes in that's like, this guy's like always serious, he's always honest, he's not a prankster, and he says the exact same story. He saw the same exact thing. And then there was someone else that they knew that saw it, that they heard from a couple days later that had saw the same exact thing. So yeah, I'm not sure what that was, but he's had a few different encounters. So let's see. Let's see if there's any more here. Yeah, Terrence. Yeah, check that out. Thanks for sharing that. Thanks for sharing that, Jasmine. I don't know who Chris Bledsoe is. I've heard his name a few times, but I haven't looked into him yet. So yeah, thanks for sharing that. Let's see. See, maybe we can find like one more. Okay. All right. Well, I'll probably start listening to it tonight. I'll try and finish it tomorrow. Um, but yeah, let's see. Try to find like one more good one for you guys. Let's see. I know that there were some good ones in here. Let's see. Oh, I posted my own this very theory for years. Yeah, a lot of people are saying that. Yeah, like so that they had come up with this. They had thought of this theory a while back, and it looks like they're finally starting to get some. Um, starting to get some evidence towards it. Let's see. Okay, so maybe this might be the last one, guys. Just because I gotta go. I gotta go take care of Luna, our new puppy. But so this one says I saw a UFO in 1997. It was at Folly Beach, South Carolina. The thing or craft was a massive self-illuminated white ball. The light was bright but a soft tone, like a huge ping pong ball with super powerful LED bulb inside. It hovered for about 2 minutes. Me and my college girlfriend were both staring at this thing. And the moment we both realized what the NH craft was, it flew off at a 30-degree angle like a bullet. No question this thing was not being flown by humans. Yeah. Again, I mean, I don't know. I mean, what we don't hear about these things when they take off like faster than something that we've ever seen is they're not creating any sort of like sonic boom or anything like that, right? Like it sounds like they just kind of take off. But yeah, I wish I could keep reading all these guys, but I do have to wrap it up here. I really want to thank everyone for joining. But if you do have time, go check out like all the comments. Go read through them because there's a lot of good ones in there. But I think most of them are going to be replying to like my main comment on there. And there's one other comment that I showed you that has like 200 likes. That one has a lot of replies to it as well. But there's lots of first hand accounts there. So too many that have too many similarities and things for it to be just a coincidence. So but yeah, again, you guys, I really appreciate it. This really meant a lot to me to hit the 10,000 subs. Well, I'm trying to get out of the way. 10,000 subs. Yeah, that was a huge goal for me. Like for the longest time, literally for years, I was just like sitting below 2,000. And then this year, like I finally surpassed 2,000, and then we just kind of kept going, and we finally got to 10,000. So it's a huge deal. It's a huge milestone. It's just the first milestone. I think next year that we can hit 50,000, no problem. Because I mean, we did 5x this year. We could do 5x next year. So yeah. But yeah, thanks for everyone. Thanks Terrence. Thanks Jasmine. Thanks to Roger as well. Thank you guys all for joining. I really appreciate it. Yeah, I'll join the Discord also. Join the Discord. I have it pinned. I have it pinned right here. Dude, where'd it go? Here, I'll post it in the comments for you guys. I'll post it in the comments. Copy link address. Hopefully hopefully that's it. That doesn't look like it, does it? Hold on, give me 1 second. I'll post it in the comments for you guys because yeah, so then we can chat it up in there. I'm really trying to grow that as well, just so we have a place for us all to like hang out and just talk outside of the comment section. So give me 1 sec. Okay. All right. I just posted it to the comments. Thanks again, you guys. You have a wonderful night. Happy holidays and have a great weekend. Take care.